We are back.
We're back.
White Acres, as you can see, the signs behind us. Full week down here.
Yeah, Preston Festival again.
We're going to do a vlog again this year. Get your footage from every day of the festival. We've drew different groups, which is great.
Yes, thank God for that.
So we can share information nice and, you know, I'm not sure who's following who actually. We'll have to work that out.
Yeah, we haven't quite worked it out yet. We've just arrived. It is on the Saturday, so we're here a few days earlier. We'll do a bit of footage of what we do on the Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to it today. It's the best festival of the year. Me and Rob love it. Obviously, the whole point of this, which we were both lucky enough to do last year, is to get into the Park Dean final.
That is the main aim.
On the Mighty Jenny's Lake on the Saturday after the festival. So that's the whole aim. You'll see us try and work out the lakes throughout obviously share the info throughout the week.
Yeah, we'll do a talk through at the end of each day about how it's gone.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll be some winning going on.
Yes.
Smaller sections, I think it's like 5 or 6 pegs.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good week. The weather's going to be nice, I think.
Yeah, apart from one day, it looks like this, to be fair.
Yes.
It's nice now.
A little bit of sun, not too much wind. It's blowing a gale at the moment.
Yeah.
So hopefully that settles because there's a bit of a storm coming in. But I think at the moment the plan is get in the lodge, do a bit of tackle, sort the rest of our kit out. We'll show you a little bit of that.
Yes.
And then we're going to go and have a few drinks in Newquay tonight, aren't we?
We are, more than a few. You'll see everything about it, hopefully.
Hopefully keep it sensible. And then tomorrow, Sunday, will be just finish a few bits off, have a chill out. It's a lovely little holiday down here, so
it's great.
That's the plan of attack.
Yeah, it really is.
Let's go to the lodge now, get checked in, and meet you doing some tackle.
It's funny as out with me now. I knew he'd be like that. Flipping heck.
Load the van.
Where's he going? The essentials, Rob.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. The evening before the festival kicks off, Bradley.
Looks very dodgy, that bit, I bet.
What does?
Yes. Meat cutter is in.
Yeah, we're doing a few bits and bobs.
Well, use that. Sorting some expanders out now.
Done all our prep today, haven't we?
Looking forward to it, to be honest.
I've been a little bit hungover.
You are, pal. Hey, I've had a busy day, thanks. I've had a great day. Don't let the drink get to me. I've done lots of prep. Got all my rigs on top of my top kits, on my top kits. Everything's a bit new for me this week, so I'm looking forward to it. New pole, new top kit.
Wow, it's going to be good.
It's all changed over.
An exciting week. Just had a bit of a lazy day, doing some hooks after the last night's shenanigans. There's a few bits of mud left on the table. But yes, I think we'll do a little video in the morning.
Yeah.
But we're just all prepped up, ready to go.
Raring to go.
Yeah.
Meat tubs here, look.
Yes,
so you have to use they're the 1 unit tubs for White Acres.
Yes.
So they say 1 pint on, but we always think there's slightly a bit more than 1 pint in there.
We use them to measure all our bait, don't we?
Yeah, just because you're only allowed 8 units in total at your peg every day. Sometimes they do check, which is great, so it makes sure everyone's done on par with that. You're only allowed 1 unit of meat as well, so it's basically your meat tub, but you are allowed to just measure it and then put it in a bigger tub because it's a bit less hassle.
Yes.
But yeah, so 1 unit of meat, which we find is, you can squeeze 2 tins in if you're looking, so.
Yeah, it's about,
we use that meat, don't we?
Yeah, it's good stuff. This seems to be the best I've found. Royal Dane from B&M.
That is the one. I don't know, Rob. I think we got about 1,000 trays 2 years ago. I think it cost me about $3 in meat. But yeah, you can get it from B&M. $1.69 a tin actually now.
Yeah,
which to be fair, everyone says, you know, like loads of, you can fish loads of meat, fish 5 tins of meat. Oh, it's really expensive. But how much is a pint of maggots?
Oh, God.
3-4 quid.
Ridiculous.
That's $1.69. So actually really cheap. But yeah, hopefully just use that all day and I'll catch a load. Where are you going, Rob? I'm off on Match Lake.
Yeah, so you're on Match Lake. We've got all our casters in here. Great casters.
Yeah.
Rochdale's finest. You can actually focus and show you the size. They're going like bullets. Yeah, so you're going on to Match Lake.
Match Lake, yeah, I've had a wander around. I must say, it's feel that cold air just had a bit of a kick in. I couldn't really see much moving. Very, very clear, but all White Acres is so deep.
I'm on Canal or Acorn, so
yeah, off site.
Off-site tomorrow, the only day when you're off-site, so I'm going to get that one out of the way.
Twin Oaks.
Oh, of course, Twin Oaks as well.
Do bear with us, folks.
Half
Robbie
asleep.
is a little bit hungover.
You can
It's
probably
only
tell
9
by
o'clock
that.
and he's off to bed in a minute.
Yeah, I need to put myself in a timeout after last night.
That's it for Sunday night.
Yeah, so yeah, Acorn and Canal. I'm hoping. I wouldn't mind a good draw on Canal, but I'd say Acorn's probably a bit fairer. But again, I don't really know the legs
Maybe,
super well.
we don't know really.
Yeah, we don't really
It's had
know.
a few days rest, but yeah.
So yes,
Forward to it.
yeah, we'll catch back up in the morning, hopefully, when we both pulled out some flyers. Brad's chefing it up this morning.
As always.
Toast is on. Very exciting. We're just waiting for the draw, aren't we?
We are.
Chopping our meat up. What's going on? We've got Matt here as well, Matt Goodall, staying with us.
Hello.
Dad, yeah, I call him Dad. Yeah, we're chopping up our meat. Brad's on toast duty. Casters ready to go. I'm going to find out what peg I'm on, then I'm going to pack my maggots off casters. Yes, we'll wait till the draw, and then we'll do a little catch up once we know what pegs we're on. Done, Brad?
It is done. I am making my debut on the high bank.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be on there this time, but you are. First time. What peg?
Keys. 16, I think, which obviously the high bank, like you might have seen in another video, the pegging's a bit weird, so I don't fully know what pegs I'm in with, but I'm just in with, luckily just in with the pegs to my right, but there's different peg numbers because of what they are. But yeah, so like I said, I've not been on it before, but obviously you look at all the results, it's a good area. 15 is probably the best peg in the section normally because it's like sort of in the gap. I think I'm just off the gap, but I quite like that because I feel like the main bowl of the fish should be there because I'm in between the two gaps.
Yeah.
I hope I've got an island chuck as well, so I can spend them early hour on a rod quite nice. I feel like when you're in the gap, you sort of go for it out and out long, whereas hopefully I can't remember quietly, but I know 13 is, I'm hoping 15 is just off it, but I might not be, I might be straight behind the back of the island, which would be a bit annoying if I am, but no, it's a good area, so I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
I'm on peg 3 on Acorn. I thought I was on Canal for a second, but no, I'm on Acorn. Don't know the leg. Brad says it can be good. I feel like I'm going to be in a bit of a corner. I'm not 100% sure. But I've got tough section as always. I've got Des Ship on 17. Got Alex Dawson on maybe 5 or 6 or something. So, no, I'm fairly happy with that. I think Acorn's probably a fairer bit of the leg. I'm in with, like, the top section, so it'll be, like, I think it's 16, 17, 19, 1, 3, 5. Yeah, we'll give it a go. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take casters with me to feed up and down long, throw some meat short, meeting Michael's in the edge, so I'm pretty happy with that. Again, I don't know the leg, so I'm just going to go with a positive mindset and hopefully we can get a section win to start the day, start the week. Let's go and find out what happens. Just pulled the back of the lodge. No one's here yet. Thought I'd show you the side of White Acres. Got to look after your bait. It's a nightmare. These maggots have been in this fridge. Well, no, they've been in this little hut, and they are roasting hot. I'm going mad. Trying to look after your bait is a bit of a nightmare down here. You can keep casters in fridges and stuff, but maggots are a nightmare for turning. Nothing seems to be turning yet. There's a few dead ones, but that's fine. Just took them out to cool them off a bit, but Brad's there and Matt's just trying to cool them down a little bit. Take them out there. I think when there's so many of them wriggling around there, it gets really hot. We're going to need some of these this week. By the looks of it, it's fishing a bit harder, and I think maggots short could be better than meeting areas, so definitely be taking some of these to my peg going forward, because John Harvey has caught on them today, won Acorn. I mean, big maggots from lanes. Yeah, they're cooling down a bit now. I'm going to riddle them off. So nice and fresh for the morning. Just waiting for Brad to come back now. Get the rest of this stuff out of the van. Dad's not happy about the lights going on.
He's not at all. So basically, Rob's totally forgot about doing a catch-up vloggy fling because he's too buzzing.
No,
basically,
we've just had curry, haven't we? We've been out for food.
Yeah, been out for a few. Rob's rubbish cameraman. He's not showed you.
I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Lot.
Let's go.
Basically, first day of the Preston Festival, and I've been on 16 on Match Lake. I think we did something this morning, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked through what.
Yeah, so they know all that. Yeah, I've not been on the iBank before. Really looking forward to it. The only thing is, like I remember now, I was saying that I didn't know if I was on the edge of the island. I wanted a little feeder chuck or something, just so that fish can swim around all the time. And I've not had that. And in fact, I've been set really far back compared to like 15 and 18. But luckily, it's not like it's a straight lake and then I'm set back. It sort of bows back anyway. So I think it's just the nature of the lake. So it's not made much of a difference, to be honest. And I've had a really, well, I've not really had a simple match, to be honest. Set loads up, as everyone does on the first day. We weren't here last week. And obviously last year, I was here the week before, and I felt like that was really important. Sort of knew what I was doing. But I was a bit stressed before the start, because I didn't really know what was going to work or do. Started on meat short, like I always do. It's not even moved. Luckily, I've seen a blondie at like 16 metres, which you'll see, hopefully, at this current point. And I've literally just shipped out, laid me rig in. It's gone tailed up, I've had it. It's like £4. It was absolutely beautiful fish. I don't know if my GoPros work, so I don't know right now if you're watching the playbacks or not.
Hopefully,
so I'm hopefully plan on you're watching the playbacks throughout the day of this. But you might not be, so if you're not, I'm just...
Use your imagination.
Yeah. And then I fired some pellets, fished long on the bottom. It's like 8 or 9 foot, so I've set up a long grip, like 0.8 of a gram. Just used like an RW chimp, round body, something nice and stable. And I've plumbed it up thinking, that'd be nice. If it's really hard, I'll just tap some pellets and catch on that. Ping some fours early. The key was, though, I didn't want to feed loads of bait. I just wanted to see what was going on behind me, around me, because the thing that I've taken into account is either side of me sort of fish shallow all day. I always forget his name. I think it's Gareth something. Basically, he just fishes a jigger back to back. He loves doing that. So I knew, and he was on 15, which if I fish like 19, I'm in line with his 16. So I just felt like I'll let him sort of tell me what's going to happen. And then the lad to my right's fished a slow sinking bomb. I always forget his name as well. He invented it.
The old slow sinking bomb.
Yeah, he's really good at it, to be honest. Really good to watch. And he's absolutely mastered it. So, and he fished at like 20 metres, so he's cutting me off as well. So I felt like trying to compete early and nick an odd fish shallow was just pointless, because they're just going to steal me fish. So I thought I'll just leave it. I was pinging an odd bit. And what I did quite quick, I literally started short for 10 minutes. Thought, no, this is rubbish. I just threw some casters on like a top kit line, just away from the edge, where hopefully I was just going to catch some perch, maybe an odd skimmer, an odd F1 if I'm lucky. Just literally a throwaway line. And that's basically how I've just fished the first half of my match, at least half of my match. And I've had like 12 pounder bits, mainly roach. Probably had 100 fish, to be honest. Maybe not quite 100 if I worked it out. But yeah, it's
been worth doing.
Definitely 85, 90 fish if I worked it out, yeah. And it was good, to be honest. It was like 12 pound, because I felt like, I'm looking around like, no one's caught feeding fish at all the first hour. So I'm like, this could be like a £30 job, £40 if you're lucky. So I thought, yeah, £12, £15 skimmers could be great. Small fish could be great. So I've literally done that for 2.5 hours, and then I'm looking around and they're starting to catch an odd one, getting an odd more sign on whatever they're doing shallow with pellets. So I thought, start feeding a few more pellets. And don't get me wrong, in that 2.5 hours, I've had an odd drop on meat on 2 lines, and then I've had an odd drop on pellets on the bottom. Quick little go shallow, just nothing at all, no signs of nothing. But I did feel like every time I went in, I got an odd movement. Nothing was like pimping or fizzing, nothing like that. Just an odd movement on my float, that maybe an odd fish. Every time I throw or fire some bait, everything just bumping into my line. It's basically, cut a long story short, I've just ended up catching a few on pellets eventually. Started to force it a bit when they were catching around me, just trying to draw them fish back in. Because I felt like the whole point of that was the fish would feel a bit more confident in that space. So he's feeding, hopefully they're pushing into this space. I'm just pinning an odd bait. There's no pole over the reds. Gathering a bit of confidence all day. And then when I have started to feed it, they've sort of been trapped there. Because once they're in that area, they were trapped. And then once I felt like there was a few fish in my peg, I could afford to risk it and then go on to casters. So I've fed casters, and then last hour and a half I've had like £60, £50. It's been really good, to be honest. Quite a lot more carp. I feel like a jigger I've caught best on, but I felt like if I could have fished a fixed rig, it'd been miles better, because I've had a chance twice and I've had 2 carp on that, real proper big ones. Well, £5 a piece. So that was my day. I've ended up with £94, which has actually won the match. Or
well, hey,
our rotation.
Good start.
Basically, we call it. It's basically I've won the match, so because everyone's in a different match every day, because you follow the same people around. So yeah, I've won the match, won the rotation, won the section, which is more important. Great start.
Very good.
Rob's day.
Happy days.
I'll switch around if I can.
See the camera. We're rolling.
Look, Dad's in the background. Look, really happy because we turned the lights on. I won't
Right,
get him
I'm
in.
going to talk you through my day. So I drew peg 3 on acorn, and I said this morning I was quite happy with that. It's like an end peg with like a bit of a bait. Well, it kind of like the lake narrows up. It's weird acorn. It's like a bone shape. So you've got 2 bowls either side of the lake, and then I'm at one end where it narrows up, which I thought was great. I thought you can reach the island, which is usually a big plus on any of them lakes where, you know, some people can't. If you can reach the island, it can be a big advantage. But yeah, I didn't, like Brad said, because we haven't been last week, you can only really go off what information you've been told. And last week there's only 8 people on acorn. Today there's been 12, so it's definitely fished a lot harder because of that. I did kind of think it would be like that, but I didn't think it would be that hard. I've still had a few bites, so it's been quite good. I've had like a quick start short on meat in like, I just plumbed up to the bottom of the slope and then just came back a little bit, just out the deep water, where it's a little bit harder. Started there, caught one little F1 pretty much like 2 minutes into the match. I thought, oh, it might be quite good, but no one was getting a bite, and I sat there for like maybe 20 minutes, had a few feeds, threw a bit of meat in, potted a bit of meat in. Nothing really happened. Nobody caught anything around the whole lake. So I thought, oh, maybe that's going to be hard. But then I spoke to Harry Bignell, who'd been on that lake early, like last week, and he said he caught really well to the island first hour and a half. So I thought, I'll have a quick early look over to the island, just in case that's going to be where I'm going to catch a lot of my fish. Sometimes when it's super pressured, all the fish might just disappear off to the island. So I went over on hard pellets to start with in about 2 foot, which is about, well, it's a long way. It's about a full 16 metres over there. But I just went slightly to my right where it widens up a little bit. So maybe a metre off the island. Rattled some fours in, no bites. Rattled some more fours in, no bites. And eventually I got one, an F1 about £2, I think. So I was happy with that. Nobody really was catching a fish. I think the fella to my left, he had 2 F1 short on me. And then aside from him, maybe Jeff Valence maybe had one. Des Ship, who's in my section on the other side, he maybe had 1 F1 or 2 F1 short. But it was dead tricky really, and I didn't know whether I was fishing the right bait, or because I don't really know what's the right thing to do on there. So I tried tapping some micros in. Well, I clumped them in with a little fast release pot with a Cuban meat on the hook. Thought I'll try that on like 2 foot. Again, it took a few feeds. Eventually I got an F1, or might have been a little carp actually, about £3. I thought that might be good. Then fed a few more times, that didn't get any better, so I think I dropped back in on meat short, no signs. I've been throwing some meat to my left against this bank, and it kind of comes out. It's like 2.5 foot against the bank, and I thought, oh, that might be quite good for a few bites during the match and maybe a good finish late. Then at mid-match, I did drop in and had like an F1 and a small carp in like quick succession, which was quite good. And all I was doing was fishing a Cuban meat, a 4x12's float, a bulk and 1 dropper. I just fished over 13 and the 16s. I tried not to fish any kind of beefed up gear unless I felt like I needed to, and I just was throwing a few bits of meat in there throughout the day, and it was all right. I think I had 3 in there in total, but it never got going at all. With like 2 hours into the match, I think I maybe had like 10, 12 pounds, something like that. I wouldn't say I was too far behind, but I was definitely falling a little bit behind Des Ship. He was fishing a nice match, fishing in the deep water with pellets at about 13 metres, I'd say, fishing worm on the hook, I think, and loose feeding some pellets. Probably in hindsight I should have done that, but it just felt quite negative, especially because I could reach the island. I just felt like that would be the way of catching a big weight. But yeah, in hindsight I should have done that. But then once it got to that point where it was like 2 hours in and nothing was really happening, I thought, I've got to feed some casters, because I spoke to Andy Bennett. He had a big weight on the last day of the mainline festival, 150. So I took some casters with me, and I started feeding them at like 13 metres, went back across, might have nicked one. I'd even tried sticking my plummet on and dropping down into like 2.5 foot, just a little bit further off the island, just to see if they didn't want to come right up into 2 foot. That wasn't any better. Just don't think any fish were up on the shelf today. I'm not sure why. Maybe a bit more pressure. The water was freezing, and the wind was pushing out, so I'm not sure. Maybe there wasn't quite as many fish there as there was last week, or they just didn't want to be in that shallow water. But then thankfully, I dropped in on my shallow line. I just fished a winter maggie, set 2.5 foot deep to start with, and I had like 2 F1s as soon as I went on it, like big uns. I thought, oh, great, I'm going to empty it shallow now, and then didn't get another bite. So for the rest of the match, basically, I just rotated from shipping across, trying to catch one, maybe don't get a bite, come back in, go shallow, and I ended up catching carp shallow. I didn't catch any more F1s after them first 2. I just caught maybe 6 or 7 carp, but 2 or 3 of them were like 4 or 5 pounders, a few smaller ones. I think there was an odd carp mooching around, and then because I was feeding them casters, they were coming into the feed, and every now and again you'd catch one. Like, I wasn't getting many signs. I was literally just fishing like 2.5 foot deep and just leaving my rig in, feeding, lift and drop, just lift and dropping every like 5 seconds, so it just keeps your rig moving up and down. And that was quite good, to be honest. I was quite surprised. Normally you'd expect to catch F1s, but that was really good. Probably accounted for about half my weight at least. And then with 2 hours to go, I potted some micros on my right edge. I set up in like 2 foot against the bank there. It was quite nice. And then after like 10 minutes, I looked round and I could see 2 tails and a load of mud coming up. I thought, right, flung my pole back, went straight down there with half a worm and just a little medium fast release. And straight away, caught a carp about 4 pound. Like, literally popped my bait in, set my rig, held it against the bank. And then within like a minute, I'd had a carp on. I fished a little bit heavier gear. I fished Black Hydro 017. Just because I expected to catch some more carp that way. I thought if it's more F1s and a bit naff, I'll just slick a bit of a lighter hook length on. But I thought if I'm going to hook a carp, I want to make sure I get it in. So that was great. Then I went back in, caught off one. Then for the rest of the match, nothing else was coming. I kept potting micros, I even tried potting ground bait, and that just brought roach in, so that was a mistake. But nothing came in. I was pretty sure that you would have still seen the carp. And then I think after I caught them, I just nicked a few more carp long shallow on the pole. I had a couple a little bit shallower, maybe at 2 foot, but I couldn't see any swirls. I wouldn't even get many signs or anything. It was literally just an odd random carp out the blue, but no one was catching anything. And luckily Des slowed up a little bit, and I managed to catch him up after I had that little run in the edge and then a little run shallow. And when I maybe caught 3 or 4 carp in a row, it was just enough to get me over the line. I've had no bite short on meat late. And that across line didn't get any better. I even tried big potting casters in like 2 foot across to see if that would work. That didn't work. Yeah, so I've had £58, and that has been enough to win the section. So a good start for me. First day of the festival, good start, happy days. Not a massive weight, but I'm not fussed about that. I'm just happy to get 1 point. Des was second with 48, so only £10 in it, pretty close. He's just caught mainly F1s. Still think there's been many F1s at my end. John Harvey's won the other section with £80, but he's caught all F1s, thrown maggots short, which probably I should have done that, but I just didn't take the bait with me. I expected it to be a little bit better. And you've only got 8 units, so I've took 1 unit of meat, 1 unit of micros, 1 unit of 4 mils, and then the rest of my units I just took casters. So yeah, that's if it was no bait limit, obviously I would have had a bucket of maggots and I probably could have thrown them short. But lesson learned, definitely something to know for the rest of this week on some of the other lakes, which have been tough as well. So I think I'll be taking some maggots tomorrow, maybe tomorrow anyways. But yeah, following for me tomorrow. Where are you going tomorrow, Brad?
Twin Oaks, which has been very, very hard.
Been patchy on Twin Oaks.
In areas.
It's been good in areas as well.
Won like the top 4 match, but
yes,
it has also probably had one of the wee sides. But you never know.
Yeah, there's been some very iffy results. Like, I mean, Andy Bennett, probably one of the most consistent anglers down here at White Acres. He's been last on Twin Oaks for £15. Ben Ag, who won the festival yesterday.
He's had £3 on my leg today.
Yeah, so it just shows there's some very iffy pegs. I mean, they're quality anglers, and if they're catching that, some pegs you will be screwed on. So fingers crossed for a nice draw.
Yes.
I would like to be on the high bank somewhere nice on Holloway, or one of
Don't
the
say
points.
it. Don't say it. You'll just spoil it. you'll be sat on. I'm saying.
I don't know where
27.
It's good. Yeah, I don't really know where it's good on.
That's looked like a lot of fish were there early on where I was.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being where
between the
Brad's
gaps.
in that area where Brad's been in peg 13. But yeah, I'll take what I'm given. I don't really know the lake, so it's quite a nice surprise. I'll just see where I try and go from there. Fingers crossed.
I feel like I know where I need to be, but I won't say it. Fingers crossed. We'll catch up in the morning with another smile on our face.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be happy with what we get given tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Today we've been at the fantastic Grange Park Fisheries, a new venue for me, so I've brought the cameras down to shoot a live match for channel members. We've had a fantastic day's fishing. I think you'll enjoy it. We've caught on a range of different methods, from short on pellets to long shallow, and then even down the edge catching some great big carp on dead maggots. It's a fantastic live match. I hope you enjoy it. So if it sounds like something you might be interested in, head over to the channel members area of Catch From Media YouTube and check it out. It's live now. Preston Festival, day 2, and the draw's just finished. We're on.
Oh, didn't know you were going.
We're going. Day 2 draw.
Well drawn, both of us.
I've drew, I think, a good peg 45 on Match Lake. I had £16 yesterday, and my section was one with maybe 20 odd pounds, so it was very difficult on there yesterday. But that peg can always throw up a decent weight, I think. So fairly happy. I think I'm just going to take some casters, take some pellets, fish across. I'll show you the peg once I get there. But yeah, I'm fairly happy with mine, I think. I'm in just as it comes into a bit of an arm, and I'm in with the high bank, I think.
No, you're in with like some of the high bank.
Yeah.
To be fair, yesterday when I was on that lake, obviously Rob's following me this week. That section seems to be the lowest weight section for whatever reason. Obviously the wind's hacking on the other side of the lake, whereas I feel like Rob's got the option of cover and a bit of open water.
Yeah, there's a bit of cover across there, isn't there?
Probably the best peg on paper in the section.
Hopefully.
But if the fish sit on the other side, it's a little bit different. But yeah, no, draw them all. But so have I.
Yeah.
I've drawn the M peg
on Twin Oaks, 36.
36. So that's the lake that's been really hard this week, to be honest.
It has.
There was a few good weights off that last week. But
Yeah, that peg was great last week,
this
but yesterday
week,
was
wind's
tough.
turned.
Yes.
And it's been really poor up that end of the lake in that section. Again, it's been the lowest weight section of Twin Oaks.
Yes.
But I don't mind that because I feel like I'm on an M peg in that section. I think Harry Bignell's on the other end of my section,
28
in the middle of the lake. If the fish do sit in that wind, he will have the ripple there, so he could catch really well.
Yeah, so you never know. You'll have a...
Hopefully I can mug a few though, Rob.
Yeah, well, there was some muggers for powers next to it yesterday. And
Yes. But that is
You are
power.
very good at mugging. So
That's power.
if you have that, you'll catch him. But yeah, we're going to get to our pegs now. I've just been sorting all the bait out. It takes bloody hours to decide what you want to take with you. But we've made a decision. I think I'm taking 4 units of casters, a unit of micros, a unit of meat, and a unit of 2 units of 4s. Yeah, that's 8 in it. So what are you taking?
I'm taking 4 casters, 2 maggots, meats, and micros.
Micros, yes. Let's go and have a go.
Let's go.
Fingers crossed. Right, Preston Festival Day 2, Brad.
Yes, what a great day. I mean, look, it's absolutely nearly
Just
dark.
getting dark. You guys all...
Still sorting out bait. To be fair,
Matt's here. Mine are coming round, actually. I've had these bagged up all day.
well, let's tell them what really happened.
Oh, these are fine.
You put the lid on the first night.
Yeah, on the first day I lost a few, but
Fair, they're actually all right.
I've hardly fed a maggot all week yet, so but I'm thinking...
Found a white one.
Oh my
Mine's
God.
not white.
Oh, I'll have to use that for the up when I need some. Yeah, so we'll talk through it. We've had a good day again, spoiler alert.
Yes, very good.
Do you
We
wanna
did say we drew...
You want to do your day first?
Yeah, we'll go with my first. I've been on 36 Twin Oaks,
Yes.
which you'll see was a very, very, very slow early on. Luckily though, the sun come out, and to be honest, I thought I'd mug quite a few. There was loads like 20 minutes before the start, and then you put your nets in, people walking around, they just drifted off, and they felt like they were sat in front of 34 where Power won from yesterday. Right, so we'll just let that plane go past. Yeah, so Power won the section from 34 the day before, on Monday, yesterday.
Yeah.
The wind turned round over the weekend and Monday and blew into 19 and Friday last week.
Yeah,
on
it was
Thursday,
very good
I
at
think.
that top
Yeah,
end,
it was
wasn't
good
it?
that other end. So basically what I meant is it's a great peg, great end peg, looks amazing.
Good for the section, isn't it?
Good for the
generally?
section, because this week it's just 6 in a line. It's
Yes.
not with the other end peg. But anyway, I was a little bit unsure, to be honest. Obviously really happy, but I was a little bit unsure. And 2.5 hours into the match, I was still very, very unsure.
Where'd you start your match?
Started the match short on meat.
Just tapping a few cubes
Just
in?
tapping a few cubes in. Same rigs I use all the time.
What's the rig?
4x14s. Bulk and 2. I think I fished like a bulk and 2.5 today. I feel like basically I've got my bulk really high up because I've had a main water one which is like 6.5 foot. It's really deep. So I've had like a 6.5
Bottom
foot
of the
rig.
slope.
Yeah, well, it's like where it flattens off. It's horrible to be there, to be honest. I remember being on the phone to James on Friday. He was on there, and he said he couldn't find anywhere flat, and it flipping Matt's mucking about now behind me.
Yeah, I see.
But yeah, it's we were plumbed a bit horrible, to be honest. And I in the back of my mind, I was like, I just don't feel like I'm going to catch it. I always feel like I know what to look for on that meat, and I knew if they come in, I'd just foul look them, or they wouldn't get it. I just knew I wouldn't really catch it. I plumbed up for ages. I couldn't find anywhere. So I sort of planned my match on hopefully tapping some bait up the bank, but that was rubbish.
No bites up the bank?
No, nothing. Just no fish showing up there. Loads of fry, loads of roach. It looked desert fish, to be, if I'm honest. But there was a lot of fish, like 35, 34. So I felt like chucking a rod maybe up there would be good early. So I thought I'd start short and just have a look about, because obviously they vanished just before the start. And then a few popped back up. Chucked a waggler at them. Couldn't really see him, if I'm honest. I felt like a couple of bites, but I don't feel like they were F1s. I just feel like, don't matter where you put a maggot or a caster, those roach there, loads of fry like that big.
Oh,
not worth catching either, because it was too clear close in, so you couldn't fish for them. So I just had a really slow first half of the match. I've mugged like 2 blonde F1s, I think, maybe 3. I might have had one on I think I definitely had one on a rod. Don't know when I had that. It must have been like middle of second hour. Just a random bite.
What, about bomb and
Kept
meat?
chucking it. I think that was on bomb and meat. Yeah, it was, yeah. Bomb and meat. Chucked bomb and bread, never moved. It just felt like there was no fish there. So I've had one on a bomb and meat, and I think I've mugged 2 blondies in like the first 2 hours at least, maybe 2.5.
Very slow.
Dropped short after throwing on it for ages, and eventually I've kept dropping on it all the time, kept dropping at the bank, just rubbish. And I've dropped in short, and eventually it's like, I'll just sit on it now, see if it goes, because no one's really catching. But I was falling behind. They were catching odd fish on a rod, and
Yeah.
I was falling behind a little bit, but I knew just a little run is all I needed. Dropped in, it's like half gone, and like a little stocky, about a pound. But I knew when you catch a stocky or a carp or a random fish, it's not an F. If I caught an F1, I'd be like, right, there's more there.
Happy
But
to
it's
sit
just,
there,
when there was a stocky there, I knew it was like maybe the only fish there. Never had another bite on it for ages, so I've literally just thought 2.5 hours to go, and I've field some casters now. Fed some casters, and it's got really good, to be honest. It took like, to be honest, I say that 2.5 hours in, I probably started feeding them quite nicely, and then I've not had a bite on it for an hour.
Yeah,
So,
just
but
kept building
I just
it up.
felt like it was bringing fish into the peg. Felt like them dobbers or muggers that were like all like moving about really weird. felt like they were lingering a little bit closer. They didn't want to feed because I'd had a little flick at one and just turn because them blondies are really annoying. I've had an odd one, and then all of a sudden I've had like, I think I've had 2 muggers just around my feed, and then I've seen one in my feed, and I've mugged that, but like a normal F1, so
Nice.
a brown F1. I thought, surely they'll feed if they're in a group because you can't see him, but if he's there, he'll be with others, surely. So I started feeding a bit more aggressive. Laid a winter Maggie in, couldn't really see it. I couldn't get a bite. Never had a bite. Never missed any bites today either at all. It was really weird. And then I picked up a really deep jigger, like 4 foot, 4.5 foot jigger. And I've had one, like, quite quick. And then I was on the phone to Harry, and I'm like, up to another, like, 5 minutes later. And I thought, there is an odd fish here now. So I thought, could just tick over. And I probably probably ahead by this point. I only had 4 more fish, and I was probably ahead already.
Yeah.
So I thought, if I just tick over this, could be good. And then literally I thought, spoke to you, didn't I? And I was like, I can't really catch on the winter Maggie.
You probably had around 4 or 5 on that by that point.
Everyone was deep, and I was like, I feel like they'd be able to tick over. Anyway, cut a long story short, I've about half hour later, I've not had a bite, or maybe 20 minutes. And then eventually I picked up a winter Maggie, gone quite shallow, and it just felt like fish coming to me peg, and I've gone in, laid me rig in, it's gone clunk, laid it in again, clunk. In about 10, 15 minutes, I reckon I've had 7 fish. It was absolutely solid. Anything from 3 to 3.5 foot was best on the run. But I felt like you were catching them at like 2.5.
Yeah. That was the same.
I felt like if you sat at 2.5, you might risk not catching them a bit deeper. Some of them were like flicking out and having them. Some of them were like that angle. Some of them were like lift, drop, and on. So they were all anything from 2.5 to 4 foot really, but 3 foot was about right.
Nice.
Really nice day to be honest. Ended up with, can't really say much more else. I kept dropping in short. Everyone's caught short to my right. Kept dropping in short, never went.
In the corner there, aren't you? Though sometimes the corners aren't great short.
Like 35 would have been better. I don't feel like anything's. Don't get me wrong. If the wind would have pumped in, I'd have probably caught up the bank to start or late on.
It's only blew today, hasn't it? Like it turned around and started the match, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like sort of blowing, but it never reaches you there because
right.
you're a bit higher up. Whereas, is that right? Yeah, you're a bit higher up than the front twin oaks. Front twin oaks always gets a wind on it. But I've been able to. Like Ben Aggs had like 70 pound last hour shallow, but he's had a ripple. Like I've not. I think he has anyway. So yeah, I've ended up with 91 pound, which has won the whole of the back of Twin Oaks to be honest. So brilliant.
In section win, but hey.
Yeah, section win of course. So that's left me with 2 wins, and I think I'm second in the festival at the minute.
You got a nice weight.
Yeah, I've had 2 nice days. I've had 2 90 pounds, pretty much the same. Pretty same match as well, apart from not fish for silvers today. So we'll go on to your day, Rob.
Well done. Pass you the phone. My day. I have drawn peg 45 on Match Lake. Good peg by all accounts. I've never been around that bit of the lake. I've actually only been on that lake once on the high bank on peg 13 and once on 48 or something. Or 45 this time. 48 is like the other side of that spit where I've been. Isn't very good there. But today, much better peg. It's like at the end, the Match Lake's made of like 2 points and then the high bank at the back. And I'm on like the left-hand point on the left of it, facing like just coming out of the arm. So it widens up to my right. It's quite a busy point. I've had Steve Barraclough on peg 19, then Deadship on 20, but luckily they've not been in my section. So I thought my section's in with quite a lot of the harder pegs, I'd say. So it's definitely a good peg in that section. You're quite close to where the fish are. I think the fish live in that big open water, but to your right, and obviously in the reeds as well. It's a full 16 metres just to get near the reeds, but towards, like, to get to the back, you need another full section at least. So set up like meat short, ground bait in my left edge, set up a pellet rig for a cross, 414s, set up for that. And then I've set up a meat rig in the, again, 414s, bit to my left, and then I've set up a few different shallow rigs, set up some jiggers like 2.5 and 3 foot, and then I've set up a winter Maggie on like 4.5 foot of line, set so I could fish up to like 3.5 foot deep, down to like, well, as shallow as I want to fish it really. Because I've had to fish on long kits because it's been so far, so I've just fished grey hydro through long kits. I've actually used one of the new, Robbie Taylor sent me some new Guru elastic, like a white one, which is probably similar to like a grey hydro. I've used that in a long kit today, shell, and it's been mega to be fair. I've got most of the fish out. I have been bust by a couple. But yeah, my match.
It is a bit of a snag pit that though, Peg.
It's a bit of a snag pit. But them fish live in the snags.
Yeah,
so
it feels like everything you catch comes out of there first, doesn't it? So they just want to go straight back
that's
in.
where they live. But it's been a very hard first half of the match. I started short on meat, just tapped like 4 or 5 bits in. I fished it a little bit further out because I felt like so clear the Match Lake. And then I think I've had, after like 15 minutes, I've had a little tiny stocky in the side of the face. And then there was an odd blow coming up. So I persevered for half an hour. No one's getting a bite. and I didn't get one. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to ship across. So I shipped over, rattled some 4 mils in. It took a while, but eventually I got maybe a little stocky. And I shipped back over, just fishing a little medium guru, 4 mil on the band. I tried a 6, but that wasn't as good. And then I literally just tapped in some pellets. I was tapping in like 5 or 6, 7, 8 at times, something like that. Just trying to drop a bit of bait through the water all the time, and pinged a few as well. Then eventually I got like a massive blondie, and then, which came straight to the top, played that all the way and just floated in. Thought, it's going to come off, it's going to come off. And I ended up getting it in. Had another 2 blondies, I think, and a couple of smaller fish, but maybe got to like 12 or 15 pound halfway through, because I had a little go on meat. Here comes the plane again. Had a little go on meat, no bites, and then I had a little go on pellets to my right. I thought, oh, maybe there's a bit too much bait on the bottom now because it went a bit crap. So I shipped over to my right hand side, tapped in some pellets, and I didn't get a single indication on it. I don't know if I was just a little bit too far away from the cover there. Just felt like everything was against the bank. And then 2.5 hours to go, I thought, I'm gonna have to feed some casters. I'd probably, in hindsight, probably should have fed them a bit sooner. But looking back, it probably worked in my favour by holding my bait back a little bit, trying to let a few fish gather, not blasting it, because I thought, oh, I think only 20 odd pound won my section yesterday. 16 pound came off my peg. I thought, it's pointless fishing for like 80 to 100 pound. I'll just fish for like 40, 50, 60 pound. Luckily, once I started blasting some casters in, straight away I've gone in shallow with like on my winter Maggie set like 2.5 foot deep, laid my rig in, straight away I've had a carp pull my elastic out. I fed it for maybe 20 minutes before I went on it. No bites on the bottom underneath it, weird. Not hardly any signs, but I had like a little wobble on my float just before I went shallow, and that must have been an odd one starting to come through. And I've had a carp, a big F1, another carp, a few small tiny stocky carp, and I've just kept persevering with that for like the next hour. I've had a little runs of carp. I have lost a few. I've hooked one, it just took me straight into the back of the reeds, blew my whole rig up. Yeah, it's been all right, really. I've not caught anything dead shallow. Literally, I've caught a lot of my fish, like Brad sort of said, quite deep, like 2.5 foot deep, but a lot of my bites were coming probably 20-inch deep, because my rig would just about cock, just settle up, just before it settles, and that's when you'd get one. So obviously them carp just swimming through India casters, and yeah, it's been quite nice, to be honest. I've had a lovely day's fishing. I've had mainly carp. I have been throwing a few cubes of meat short, and once my cross line went a bit dodgy, every time I lost one in the reeds, like, it just seemed to ruin my peg. Like, at one point I brought like half a bush back with me, and it just killed it every time that happened, which is annoying. It kind of stopped me getting any proper runs of fish. But every time I tried to come a bit closer to myself and fish away from the bank, I just didn't get any signs, so I felt like I just had to fish through it. Dropped in on meat short, maybe 40 minutes to go, and I had a little run. I had a carp and a massive blonde and a little stocky, because there was a few blows coming up, and I think if I'd sat there for the last hour, I probably would have caught a few more. But with there being some bites over, I've kept rotating where I've fished. And I've even potted some ground bait to my left-hand platform. It's been like 2 foot deep there. And I knew from last year on the peg like behind me in the arm, it's definitely not as good as peg, but they still came in down the edge. So I persevered with that, kept potting it, seen a few roach come up, but because I was catching, I didn't look on it early. Looking back, I probably could have spent a bit more time on the edge, because when I've 10 minutes to go, I've missed a bite short of me. I waited a while for that one as well, so I sacked that off. Thought I'll just have a quick look, 10 minutes to go, dropped in, straight away, big F1, 2 pound, dropped back in, just kindling a large fast release pot in, dropped in again, and a massive blonde about 3 pound in the last 10 minutes, so definitely worth putting that in. There's a few carp to be caught on the edges still. And yeah, the cross line went a bit crap late on. I'm not sure why. Barraclough's caught, but he's been in the open water. So yeah, been all right. Had odd fish really on a few different lines, ticked over, and I've weighed 67 pounds and ounces, I think, which has won the section. So chuffed.
What a great first 2 days that is.
Good first 2 days. I've been second in the match today. Barraclough's won it next to me. He's had 80 pound, and there's been I think Des has been third with 55. But yeah, I'm over moon with that, to be honest. It's saved me feeding them casters, but it's hard to know whether feeding them late's helped me or if it meant I could have caught a few more throughout the day. It might just ended up filling my pegging with casters on the bottom where nothing was eating them. Whereas at the end, like that second half of the match when fish are actually wanting to feed, they're going to come and start competing, and I think it's important to hold your bait back, I do, sometimes when it's fishing tough, because you're not going to catch shallow mid-match, I don't think. You're just going to maybe get an odd one. But yeah, it's been good. 2 wins.
On to tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow I'm on Twin Oaks, which is very patchy.
Yeah, you're following me, aren't you?
Yes, it's incredibly patchy at the moment. Like, some very good anglers are struggling in sections, so it's just a case of hoping the draw is kind.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. Where am I
it.
going? I'm off to Trelawney,
Oof.
where Matt's been, so I'm following Matt. I tell you what, it is pitch black here.
Yeah,
it
it's gone dark, hasn't
it
it?
looks really bright.
Does
here
it?
Still. Yeah, it looks really bright.
Sound. Well,
Really
hopefully
bright.
you've seen a bit of footage there, because we managed to have the GoPros
both
rolling
5
all day
hours worth
today.
of film, so
Yesterday,
should be lots.
you won't have seen quite as much because our GoPros were playing up. But yeah, today there's lots of action. Few bites. It's been good. We've both been on nice pegs, so fingers crossed we're smiling in the morning again.
Yeah.
Pizza for tea.
Yes.
Day 3.
Day 3.
Where have you drawn, son?
Well, I think we should first mention your draw, Rob.
My draw.
Peg 1 on Twin Oaks.
Yeah, I've drawn peg 1 on Twin Oaks. Go on.
Won the match yesterday when I was on there.
Love that.
Great peg. But we'll go on then.
Yeah. Peg 1 on Twin Oaks for me. Very happy. That's the one I wanted this morning, so
Yeah, you called it.
I was happy to see that.
To be fair, we both called it, in fairness.
Yeah, we did.
I did actually want mine, but it's not quite as good as yours in form.
We did both call our draws. My peg won the match yesterday on there. Peg 1 on Twin Oaks, which is the first day it was devoid of fish, and yesterday it's absolutely hammered the lake. Had 123 pound Ben Ag was on it. The wind swung round. I think they follow the wind like instantly on there. So I'm hoping when I get there, the wind's coming this way still. Yeah, no complaints. I mean, it's caught big weight yesterday. I think Ben's had a few shallow late on. You can catch up the banking on meat. Just got to hope that there. Things with them corners, if they're in your peg, you'll just empty. You'll probably be hard to beat. If they're not there, you could real struggle, because obviously in the middles you can draw fish in. But yeah, I'm dead happy. I'm just going to take some casters for shallow, I think. Take some meat, a few 4mm to kindle along early if I need to, just to faff around. Because generally that last hour and a half is when you're going to catch on the casters. So I'm just praying that goes under again. Yeah, no complaints. It's going well so far in the draw bag. Brad?
Yes. For my peg. It's the actual peg I drew on the last day of the first ever festival I fished down here that I managed to win. So I do like that peg, in fairness. It's not like a point. It's 23 on Trelawney.
That's a good draw, I think.
Every peg's in the whole way down that bank.
Yeah.
From 22 to like 29. So good thing is it comes round like that, and 23 you're right on the point. So you got the most amount of water on that bank, in the section anyway, not on the lake. So should be good for shallow, hopefully. But the only thing is, aka Dad in the lodge, Matt, was on it yesterday and he's really struggled. I told him how I would have fished it and he's done it and it's not caught at all. So I was like, I did think last night, I was like, I'm sure if he like really went for it shallow, because we don't know what Matt's actually done. So whether he's actually forced it, I don't know, or he's tried catching on meat. Because it sounds like he's like, with half how to go, he's still had 3 lines open. So whether I just have to sit there and pray it goes, because to be fair, the last 2 days shallows worked. I felt like I sort of know what depth the fish are in. I just feel like they're never on the bottom, they're not feeding on the meat. So I have taken some maggots today, but the thing is, you're only allowed 8 units here. So I've taken 8 units, but I feel like it's a bit pointless, because if it kicks on that maggots, I haven't probably got enough to feed it anyway. But
it's hard, you've got to try and cover your options.
Yeah,
it's very difficult to choose.
I feel like I'm only going to need £70. Well, I don't know, because Budgie's had £60. Basically, Ryan Laycock,
he's drawn a good
class
one.
angler.
You got a
he's
hard
on
section.
2 wins as well. He's on a hard. He's on peg 19, so it's a tough section. And that's the M peg on the other bank, and that's won the section both days and a lot of the days last week.
Yeah.
So it is probably a miles better peg on form. The 2 M pegs are, but
you said to me you would have picked that 23.
I would have picked it. Just like on 19, I just feel like it's one of them where it's a gamble. You either go in, if they're there, they're there. If they're not, you're not.
Same as my peg, really.
Yeah.
If they're there, you're laughing. If they're not,
I'd
you're going to
rather
struggle.
give myself a chance of being able to do something and change it. So I am happy, but I do feel like on paper I'm probably out of luck a little bit. But I think it could be quite fair, because I feel like I can soon catch £70. If you get a run of F1s, you can soon catch £70, £80.
Happy days.
But realistically, I bet Ryan's going to catch £80.
Yeah, I think Ryan will be a hard man to beat, but if you
I'm
can,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think got a good chance to come back
Hopefully
with 2 wins today.
Casters comes good again.
Fingers crossed. I've got Des in my section again. He's on 9, which is I'm not
Closest to
writing
where
him
the
off
fish
at
were.
all. There's been a lot of fish on in the middle, so I'm gonna have to hope something comes good on them casters. I think.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Let's have it. Twin Oaks today for me, and drew a flyer, peg 1. Set up all my rigs. About a minute to go before the start. Some shallow rigs, some deck rigs. Bait wise, got a unit of pellets, 4mm, fishery pellets, micros a unit, meat a unit, just keep under a towel, and 5 units casters. Beautiful peg. Got dead ship down there on peg 9, I think, 10, 9. Literally all next peg, but there's been a peg not drawn next to me, so that has a bit of stroke of luck. But the wind is actually starting to blow out a little bit, so Not sure about that, but hopefully they're still here from yesterday. Give it a go. Preston Festival Day 3, Brad. Oh no.
What a day. What a day.
The wheels have fell off with both. Well, not fallen off. That's
no.
They've
Don't
not
listen
fallen
to
off.
Rob. We've had a great day. We're still in a great position. I'm not.
Yes.
Rob is.
Well, yeah.
It's been frustrating. 23. Trelawney is rubbish. That's all I'm going to say this week. It's just not where the fish are.
It's not been good this
It's
week, has it?
amazing to me. Like this morning, I was confident. I was like, suits the way I fish. My favourite lake. That and Python, my two favourite lakes. So I feel like there's always fish around. There's always fish in your peg. You can change. You just get a sign. Today, it's just like I've just seen the back end of it. It's so bad. Like it's fished hard. The pressure's hard. So that's what's fished hard.
Yeah,
it's been a bit
busy
cold.
lake. Yeah,
it's been
cold.
like
It's
raining,
colder this year.
spitting.
It feels like colder this year.
Yeah, it's not been great temperatures today. Pressure's not been great, and then the wind's done a total Yui again. Don't know what it wants to do, and blew the other end, and it's just got worse. Like, I've still enjoyed it because like you're always trying to work something out, and I did feel like, to be fair, I've had a really shocking start. I think there was a lot of stocky F1s in that lake now, and they're big enough to be able to eat your bait and blow and fizz, but then not eat your bait. It's like because I started short and I lost my first 3 fish, but one of them were definitely foul hooked, but I had a proper scale. And like it floats like you put your bait, like after 10 minutes never had anything, and then eventually some fish come in peg, and I had a few of them. Like they must be like, because your float's like proper moving, so I reckon there must be at least 2 foot deep, and it's 5 foot deep nearly. So I felt like I started in the wrong depth, come closer, but then because I'm on such a tight point, they don't want to come close. No. So I was like, right, so I'm going to catch them shallow at some point. So I've fed me shallow line a bit early.
What time did you feed
Maybe
that?
should have done that. An hour in, I've started feeding casters.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd started on hard pellets. After an hour, I've gone on it. Hard pellets.
On the long pole line,
tapped a few. And it's been like, because like me, I've had a very odd bite early. I felt like I should have caught a bit more. But I don't know, because I want to start, if to start in a different depth, I'd have to come closer, and I felt like the fish weren't close
early.
early.
I want to come under your feet, it's so clear.
So I don't know when, like maybe I should have like fed more at once and sat there till it moved, but I don't like doing that for everyone.
Is it deep there?
Yeah, it's
long?
like 5 foot short.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
And it stays 5 foot long, so,
right.
And it felt like they wanted it to be in 4 foot. Yeah, that was really close, so, because you're on a point, it's quite deep close, so.
Yeah.
Just for like, it's not suited the way it's fished today. It's fished hard, which meant you had to be in certain depths, which I just felt like I didn't have. Well, it's not really an excuse, because cut long story short, I've had £36 and only 45 on the section, which to me that's a big difference. It's like another 25% of your whole match.
Where have you caught then?
I've basically just caught a few short, and then I've gone on hard pellets, and it's been like a bit annoying. Not really, just like an odd pimp, not going to bite. I knew they weren't eating pellets, so I thought I'd put a worm on. I think I had one after about 10 minutes. It wasn't great. So I thought I'll start loose feeding some casters and try and catch some crassios and them stocky F1s. So I started loose feeding a few, and then probably coincidentally I've seen a swirl. And I've gone in, there's been loads of roach, and eventually I've had an F1 after like 15 minutes on a fixed rig.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'll just tick over on this, because it, like I said, short, it felt like I was getting a lot of indications. Everyone's striking, no one's catch anything. I just felt like everything was mid-depth, mid-water. So I thought, I'll just tick over shallow. Well, that didn't work. 20 minutes later, I caught another one, but it just wasn't great at all. So I was like, what do I do now? And then I'm stuck. I didn't want to chuck a rod straight over my line, over my shallow line, because no one caught a rod around me, even though it's probably the best rod peg there. So I thought, I'll just persevere with this. I started to up the feed, thinking maybe they'll draw them back in, because I've had 2 already after half hour on it, which isn't terrible. And then that's been rubbish. So after like 2 hours of like shouldn't have fed casters now, so I've chucked a rod, it's not gone round 5 times. I've chucked it 5 times beautifully, it's not gone round. I was like, no fish there then. Rang Rob, and I chucked it again. I'm on the phone to Rob, anyway, about 5 minutes, rod's gone round. I'm like, alright, F1 about £1, I thought that's alright. Rob's moaning as per usual. So I've chucked another, Rob behind the camera that is. So I've chucked the bomb out again, tap my phone. Rod's like all around the rest, so I've flipping another one here, literally straight after 1 or 2.
What, on what? Bomb and bread?
Bomb and bread. 4-inch off bottom as well, real short hook. I didn't think that would work.
But just a short hook?
Yeah, fish a really short hook length. I feel like it's really shallow across there, so I feel like you don't want 8 inch.
Could you not just fish a longer one and put some shot on your hook length?
Well, you could do, but then I feel like you've got some slack. But I don't think it matters, as long as it's popped up away from your flow anyway.
Yeah.
And then I've hooked this one, little F1 again. And I flipping hooked this one. It's gone round to me right, not into any snags, just swam to me right. And there's been some line from a tree with a feeder on, big hybrid feeder, right to the bottom. Anyway, it's gone round it, popped back up, got stuck on something. I'm like trying to pull him round. Anyway, lost a lot somehow. Oh my God. I'm like, Rob, I'm going to have to go. It's doing me head in now. Rob's moaning. Oh my God.
I wasn't
nightmare. Anyway, and then I've blown that up. Chucked that. Well, I've tied it again, chucked it out again. Not going round. Started casters. I think I've had like I've had an odd one on casters, and then late on I've had like 3 and 3 minutes short on meat with like an hour to go.
Big F1s?
This will be sound. No, one was stocky, one was a blondie, and one was an F1. That tells you a lot. They're all different fish.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this will be alright. Never had about 20 minutes. I was like, I just basically caught an odd fish everywhere in my pen.
Random ones.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
£30 in it.
Never caught anything. I've ended up with £36, which to be honest, I finished the match and I was like, I've sneaked that. And I was really happy. I felt like I was rushing about. You'll hopefully see in the video. I rushed about. And later on, I actually rushed about and got one. Eventually. It was good. Oh, I just fell short. They've both caught a bonus carp. Big uns as well. I've just not been on the right side of it. But then I beat someone by ounces and I've kept fishing for roach. They weren't great, but I've probably had 1.5 pounds of them at least. And I've beaten by like 7 ounces for another point. So I can't moan. I'm not bothered. I was annoyed because I thought I'd won and now I haven't. So I'm not even second, I'm third. So there's been a 45 and there's been a 43, so a bit annoying, but I'm still like 9th. I'm the best on 16 points. I'm a point behind, but I'm the best on weight.
2 wins required.
Even though I've only had £30, but 2 wins you can still win the festival. So it's not. I don't think you will, but I don't think it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Very peggy.
Yes.
Well done, anyways.
Don't be grumpy.
My day. I'm not grumpy. I'm in a great mood. So my day, I've been on. Peg 1 on Twin Oaks. I was over the moon with that this morning.
Yeah, it's a great draw.
Because obviously Ben Ag had £120 off it yesterday. He won the match. So I called it. That's the peg I wanted this morning. So no complaints at the draw at all. But one thing I do know about Twin Oaks is them fish can move very quickly or just shut down. It's an old, well-fished lake. So and the F1s are massive, so they're super moody. They're no guarantee they're going to feed at all. And unfortunately today's been that day. They've probably shut up shop. I've set up a bit of everything. I know Ben caught quite a few shallow last hour yesterday, but he would have caught a few on a rod, a few up the bank and stuff. It's a lovely peg. You've got like a long edge up to your left. You're right in the corner there. But I even had a bit more luck this morning because there's one bloke, I think Gary Thomas in our group, he's not been turning up to his peg. I assume something's up with him. I'm not sure what it is, but he's not
apparently he's ill, yeah.
He's ill. So he's not been there today and he drew peg 3. So I've had... Not only that, I've had an empty peg on peg 3, so I've had up to peg 5. And it's probably not helped me because I've felt like it. I've went to my peg thinking I'm going to have £100 today. Like, that's what I'm targeting in my head. But really, didn't need half as much as that to win the section. So, a bit frustrating. What have I started on? So I started short on meat. And after like 15, 20 minutes, I've not had a sign. So I was like, ooh. No one was getting a bite on the lake, which was a bit weird. I thought, all right. So then I came up into... I plumbed up a line like 2.5, 3 foot to my right up the slope a bit. I thought, well, maybe they just want to be in that shallower water. So I thought, be in the end, if it could be just brilliant on meat short. Just tried up into my right hand side. That was no good. No signs on that. So then I went up the bank into my left at like 13 metres, just tapped some hard pellets in. No signs on that. I got to like 90 minutes in and I've not had a single bite. Oh God. I mean, I think Des maybe had 1 on a rod at this point and no one else had a sign in my section. So I thought, well, the lake's clearly fishing a lot harder today, but obviously I've only fished Twin Oaks maybe 3 or 4 times now in total. So I don't really know how it fishes. But yeah, and I thought, I don't know how it's fished yesterday. I don't know if Ben's caught anything early, or if he's just caught a lot of his fish late. So I thought, well, I'm still in good spirits at this point. I'm thinking, well, there's still a good chance of me catching a good run late on. And then I put an extra section on, replumbed up at like a full 14 metres up the bank in. I thought, well, maybe them fish just want to sit a little bit further away. Tap some meat in this time, and no signs on that. So still no fish at this point. Oh God, getting a bit shaky at this point. So I rang James up, see how he was doing, and I thought, right, I'll just chuck the bomb out. I thought, I'll just chuck. There's a few fish that have moved up to my left hand side in some reeds. So I literally punched like a massive chunk of meat out, like probably 12 mil thick by 10 mil, like a big disc on a size 12 QM1, just on O22, little half ounce gram bomb. I don't know how big it was. Quite a small bomb. Chucked that into the corner. Within maybe 30 seconds, it'd gone round with a carp, about £4. Thought, oh bloody hell. Got this in. Chucked out again. Another one. carp about £4, which was lovely. And then I even chucked it again, caught an F1 about £4, all in quick succession. I thought, oh, bloody hell, it caught me right up. It got me probably level with Des again, with about £16, £17. And then I chucked that a few more times, no more bites on that. Chucked it right along the banking, up to my right, up to a level in front of me. I did land it in the tree at one point, so I don't know if anyone noticed that though, but I was in the tree.
Well, you won't put it in because you're editing it.
I'll put it in. I was in the tree, but I pulled it in and broke everything.
Yes.
So that went up the bank at that point. And then, actually no, I only broke my hook length. I just stuck a new hook length on, but it hadn't gone round for 3 or 4 chucks, so I thought that's a good sign to come off it. And yeah, halfway through it was looking pretty bleak, to be honest, maybe 20 odd pound. And then what did I do? Yeah, I thought I'm going to have to feed some casters early here. I thought halfway through, not catching anything, I thought I'll just at least feeding a few casters a bit steady, because I had been pinging some pellets on my pole line in front of me. And I think I dropped on it once and had one little stocky. So I thought I'll just fly some casters, I can fish a worm under it, maybe catch some small carp and stuff. Them F1s didn't seem to be feeding, so I thought maybe that'll be a good way to tick over. And yeah, didn't catch much on that at all, to be honest. I had a few little stocky carp. I lost a massive one, which would have been enough to win mid-section, actually, in hindsight, probably. I hooked it on the phone to Brad, and it ran me all the way. I hooked it on grey hydro. I had 15 hook length, and I thought, I don't want to fish too heavy, because if you're fishing for F1s, if you start fishing 17 and stuff, I just think you're missing out on fish. So yeah, it ran me all the way to the other side of the, like, a full 16 metres in the air, reaching forward, and then it just broke me. It nodded its head, I seen it turn, and it broke me, so very annoying, but that's just the nature of the beast. It might have been up under the chin or something. Yeah, and after that, I ended up going back up the banking on meat, and I had I think I had a carp about maybe £5, and then not another bite. So then I went back shallow, or tried shallow, no bite, sat on the bottom, maybe had one. Went back up the bank, had a big F1 about £4. I think I had 3 or 4 bites up the banking, just kindred meat. I even tried potting a few micros. I think I had one feeding some micros. Just didn't feel like I could get a run of fish from it. I think it was just an odd random one. And then last sort of hour and a half, I've sort of concentrated between up the banking, short on meat, didn't have a bite, and under my cast on my casters. I felt like my casters would come good at some point, especially after yesterday, and I think that's what's ruined my match, really, expecting that to come good. Knowing what I know now, I've literally had 1 bite on casters in the last 3 minutes. Probably with 20 minutes to go, started seeing some massive shapes in my casters, which are clearly just big F1s sat about that deep. But wow, could not catch them. Like flicking the winter maggie in that deep, on a dibber, on a jigger, could not get them to take me hook bait at all. I tried a worm, I tried maggots, I tried casters, just couldn't catch them. Big moody things, and then obviously I managed to hook one about £2.5 right at the death, but they've just not been probably enough there competing to make them easy to catch, because clearly Ben's had 70-80 pound of them in the last hour, yesterday. There've been a lot more fish there eating and competing, because they were very tricky to catch when there's just 2 or 3 of them milling about. And yeah, in hindsight, looking back, I probably should have just spent a bit more time that last hour up the banking to my left. Up the banking to my left, potted some micros in, just sat there patiently and tried to catch 1 or 2 more carp, because that probably would have been enough. But it's such a gamble. I felt like I only needed 1 or 2 F1s to get ahead of Des. I thought it was quite neck and neck. But yeah, in hindsight, he's the best angler. But yeah, I've ended up with £52, and that's been second. Behind Des, he's had 58, and there's been a 33. Des actually won the whole of Twin Oaks, our oak, the front one.
Did he really?
Yeah, he won the whole Twin Oaks.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's been rock hard.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the whole lake's just shut down, I think. Just frustrating. I'm not looking back. Still would have fished my meat short lines, but the biggest thing, I maybe could have spent a bit more time on a bomb mid-match.
Maybe chucked it early. Would you have chucked it earlier?
Yeah, chucked it early. I could have chucked the bomb a little bit earlier, so maybe that could have been a good way of nicking 1 or 2 more. Could have spent a bit more, maybe had a few more chucks mid-match, and then the last hour, should have just fished up that banking, and I would have nicked 1 probably. But I didn't know at the time that I wasn't going to drop in and catch 2 or 3 big F1s shallow, which is...
Yeah. Before you were fishing for £100 at least, so it's...
Yeah, even going to the last 20 minutes, I thought, if I just catch 2 or 3 of these massive ones, I'll probably win the section. But it's just not gone. And yeah, but on the bright side, no one else has won again.
No one's got 3 wins. You've got the best points.
It's You're
winning on points.
I'm winning on points, but I'm still my weight's pretty crap.
6th or 7th, I think.
Yeah, my weight's pretty crap at the moment, but I mean, I'm still in the race. I want to just get in the final. That's what me and Brad are concentrating on.
Yeah,
really. I want to try and get in that final on Saturday.
I think we're 6th and 9th for the minute, so...
Yeah, we're still up there.
Doing well. Very well. A
frustrating.
great vlog, Rob. That's what it is.
It's the reality of Whiteacres. It's very peggy, this festival.
Yeah.
And the main reason I'm frustrated today is because I feel like I've drew a peg which should be a winner.
Yeah, I can understand that, yeah.
Where I've not... If I snuck a second off a bit of an iffy draw, I'll be like buzzing. But...
You feel like an iffy draw's to come yet?
Yes, I feel like I've had a good 3 draws so far, so I'm scared of what's going to come up tomorrow on that sheet.
Defo.
But yeah, well, fingers crossed. Hopefully we're happy again in the morning, because we've been happy 3 mornings in a row.
Yeah.
So hopefully it goes again tomorrow.
Let's go. So, we've been out today at the awesome Oaks Lake Cessay for a bit of a silverfish masterclass, a bit of hide fishing on maggots up and down. We've been on Thurs Lake, ram full of fish today. It's been really exciting actually. We've caught little skimmers, roach, eye, you name it. We've caught loads of rudd as well. It's been really good. Loose feeding maggots on the pole, something that dominates a lot of venues these sort of months, coming into the winter months. It's been great, to be honest. We've talked through rigs, shotting patterns, the differences, when to feed with a pot, when to feed with a catapult, how much to feed, how often to feed, loads of little tips and tricks in there that hopefully catch you some more fish. So if you do want to check it out, make sure you head over to the Catch One Media channel. It is live now for members only, so get yourself over there and check it out. You're getting on film, pal.
Chef has up a great meal, Brad.
As again.
Oh, meatballs and tomato sauce.
Very plain, aren't we?
Drop in. Oh yes, nice and easy. Cheese time. Nom, 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 nom. 4th day, Brad.
Hello.
Bit of a mixed draw.
Yeah, terrible.
Where you on?
9 on Python.
Not the best on paper, I don't think.
You're in with everyone to your right, so that's where the wind's been blowing this week. 2's dominated, 3's been good, 4's, and then it's just got worse. But to be honest, Canning caught like £30 off my peg yesterday.
Yeah.
But Mark Roger had 3 bites to his left, and he had like £5 to his right. So whether he's caught a couple carp, and just got a bit bonus with him, I don't know. But Phil's a good angler, so he might have just worked it out. Maybe there is some fish there. I'm just hoping that there is, so I can get some bites and change. Like yesterday, I thought it'd be a bit better. Like there's some fish in my peg and I can work it out, where it didn't feel quite like that. So I hope it's not like that, but I'm going to give it the best shot, to be honest. I love that lake. I feel like I sort of know what I'm doing on there. I'm confident on there, so I feel like I've got Ben Ag on 8 right next to me as well, so we're going to have a good battle. And then I think the lad who beat me yesterday is on the M peg, so in my head it's not looking good, but you don't know on that lake, so I'm going to go for it and hopefully catch some big carp as well in the mix. Where are you, Rob?
I am on peg 5 on Trelawney. Scratching section, so that's probably the worst section, apart from peg 32, which has been catching.
I don't think it will
fish.
be. I think it'll be the best one today.
Do you think?
Yeah, that wind blew yesterday. It was the best one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that 32 had 70 odd pound yesterday, but I'm like on the other bank where it's quite shallow. But I think it's probably one of the better pegs in that section. 1, 2, 3 and 4 haven't been very good. 5, you've got a spare peg to my left.
You want a bit of a point on 5?
Yeah, towards the better bit of the lake. And then, yeah, 32 is the danger peg and 31. But I'm not too unhappy with that. I've managed to stay away from Des this time. He was in my section yesterday and took a point off me. So that was nice not to see his name. I think I'm going to take... There's been a few fish getting caught on the edge, so I'm going to take a few dead maggots for doing that last hour, just in case I need to get out of jail. It's worth potting it. And then I'm just going to take some live maggots to throw short for roach. Take some maggots, take some meat and take some pellets. I don't think I'm going to take any casters there. I can't see that being very good shallow. It's only like 3 foot deep there, so that simplifies that. Chuck a little method or a pellet feeder over. And yeah, hopefully I think I'm only fishing for like £40 realistically. So if I can catch that, then hopefully it'll be enough. So let's go and give it a go. Day 4 of the Preston Festival, Brad.
Yes,
day
4. I've had a good day, an unexpected good day. So I've been on Python.
Bad.
Yeah, very, very
on paper,
poor.
It's not good
on
there.
paper, it's poor. Peg 9, which is the last peg going that way, or that way.
Yeah, the first section.
Peg 2 dominates, to be honest. And there was a good lad on there. And to be fair, there's been some fish showing in the middle, but Canning had like 30 odd pound off my peg yesterday. He might have had near £40. Yeah, I think he had £40. So I knew there was some fish in the area, but I knew 8 and 9 were like the worst 2. But on paper, me and Ben were on 8 and 9. So, it was going to be a good battle. But I had a bit of room to be left because 11's the next peg, so you get every
a little bit. Why?
two pegs
There's a
missing,
little
but
bit of
it's
room
a
that
bit
way.
more room.
It's
Yeah,
not the
like
best area.
The peg's
though.
a bit further
Yeah,
away.
that's true.
So I thought if it fishes well, I'll probably catch in the edge because I've got a lot of room. But then also if it fishes hard, I thought some fish might back off into that space. But as it's turned out, the space hasn't helped at all. I don't think it's made a difference. Had it fished better, maybe it would have. But I've had a simple day. I just stick to what I know. Meat short. I have confidence.
You always
in it,
catch
so I
on
just wanted to
there,
sit on there. Everyone's changing to maggots, but I just feel like you're limiting yourself. Like when a fish comes in your peg, it's got less chance of picking up your hook bait. I just have more confidence sitting there, not feeding loads. So I've basically, literally cut long story short, I've basically done it all day. I've tried doing loads of different things. Tried fishing hard pellets for crassios. I even started sprinkling in micros fishing expander. I had 3 and 3 chucks on that, but I lost 2 of them and it was frustrating. Shipped the mud, but an odd carp come in, but it wasn't right. Never caught one, just pricked one. Fed me edge like heavily because I knew if the thing is, it was really technical to a point where I've had to keep an eye on everyone to my right. Like I'd like to say I was always ahead, but I wasn't. I was probably always in the gang. So I just felt like as long as I can keep ticking over, I'll be fine. Because I didn't care if I won by an ounce or £10. I was as long as I won. Because ideally I was fishing for a second. That's what I thought I was fishing for. As long as I beat Ben, I've got a good chance of being second. So I was thinking, forget about the end peg. Whatever he catches, I can't.
Yeah.
Like what he catches won't dictate what I catch, but what Ben catches will. So I tried looking, and luckily I've just kept ahead. I could have gone in the edge and I could have caught £20 really quick, but
I think that's important, that isn't it? Looking,
late.
keeping an eye on people in your section,
massive,
because
massive.
It does help you decide
it
what
dictates what you're going to do.
Yeah.
If you need to take a gamble or not. When it's so hard like that, a big fish is massive. So I gave myself the chance if I needed to gamble, but I didn't need to, luckily. And I've got my timings a bit better late on. I threw some maggots on one line out the way. I had a quick carp, dropped it on meat, had a carp, dropped in there, had an F1, and dropped in there, had a £3 carp.
Oh, so you caught some maggots as well, Sean?
I had two. That's all about. Literally changed it last hour, just because everyone else was. I thought, because that meat line was a bit weird, because it was towing a little bit, and meat's a bit wrong when it's towing, because you don't know where your bait's ending up.
Yeah.
I thought I'll just change it to maggots and make sure. I had 2 on that and 2 on that, and it was perfect, to be honest. Played one after the whistle, and that's won me the section. Near on, maybe just.
What did you have?
I had £36 and seconds at 34. Ben's at 29 or 28. So yeah, it's been a really good match. That's actually won the section, so really
lovely
good with that. I'm on 3 wins and a third now, so I'm back on track, sort of thing.
Back on track.
How did you get on, Rob?
Oh, I've had a very slow day to start with. I was on peg 5 on Trelawney today, which I'd say it's a good peg in that section. Peg 32 is the main danger peg.
It is.
But all the pegs to your right are pretty poor, to be honest. And I've been lucky today because one of the lads in our group has been ill, and his peg was the next one to me. So I've had a gap
again.
Yeah,
I never knew that.
Yeah, I've had a gap and a gap. So I've had 2 pegs to my left before Des to the start of the next section. So I felt like that would help me. So a bit of luck there. And to be honest, it was very slow. I started short on meat in just into the silt. I've tried to find where the hard bottom was, but that was
weird on there, isn't it?
It's literally a short kick, a short forward. I thought I did start there where it was a little bit harder. Just thought I'll just have a quick 5 minutes there and see if anything comes in. And I didn't get a sign, so I thought, oof, no. Chucked up the bank, went out to my 5 metre area and tapped some meat in, just 4 cubes in a pot. I always count them into my pot because I don't want to overdo it. And then I've had an F1, a nice little start, quite a small one, about £1.5 pounds. And then I've had another one, about £3. I thought, brilliant start. But Richie Hull had the same. He had 3, I think, on the end. And then after that start, it's been absolutely rock hard. I think I tapped in some meat at 16 metres. I set 2 16-metre pole lines up. No, 3, sorry. One to my left, out my peg at 16. One in front of me. The idea was to tap a few cubes of meat on there. It's only 3 foot deep there. So I thought I'll just tap 4 bits there, go to this line, tap a few bits in, try and catch one, go back to that line. I tried doing that, but there's just no signs.
Not enough fish, is there? Not enough fish feeding.
I managed to catch one on my left-hand line at one point, and then not another sign. No indications at all in front of me. I think I had 2 F1s to my left in total on tapping meat in. No bites on pellets. Usually you get some bites of crassios and stuff on hard 4 mils, just with a 4 in the band. They like hard pellets. I think in hindsight, after speaking to John Harvey, he caught on expanders. I probably should have fished an expander. I might have got a few more because there was a few little carp in there, pounders. And then I've been throwing some meat short all day, and because I had that room to my left, I was pretty hopeful I'd catch in the edge. I set that up in about 18 inch, just off the bank, where I could see, because the banking comes round a bit. And I was just potting some live maggots in there with 2 hours to go. That's how I set that one up, really, and I've just been throwing some meat short. The long lines just didn't come good at all. I had a few chucks on a method, just with ground it round with like a single maggot on. I think I had 2 pulls on that, the tiny little carp. Literally probably had like 3 pound of roach and a handful of little tinies, maybe like 8-9 pound with an hour and a half to go, hour and 40 minutes to go. And I've seen some blows on my meat short line, and I dropped in there, and I've had a brilliant run on meat short. It's been amazing. I've had like, I'm not sure, I've had my first drop in, foul up to carp, and I thought, oh dear, that's not good. Because not literally like, that carp would have put me like straight ahead in the section, because it was really tight. I was keeping an eye on everyone, and I knew it was really, I was just a little bit behind. And then I dropped back in, had a carp about 4 pound, and all I was doing when I just throw like 2 or 3 cubes on it, and I could see there's a few fish coming in because there's like blows everywhere.
It's mint when it nails under.
So you can see, because it's so silty, you can see when the fish are in your peg. So I was like pretty confident. Then once I caught that carp, I had a really nice run. I caught some big F1s, some smaller F1s, like 1.5 pounds.
Any blondies?
I might have had 1 blonde, I think. One big blonde.
Terrible.
I know, got too skilled. But one thing I would say is I fished a lot lighter than I normally do. I fished like a little short kit with orange hydro in. Fished 012 and a 16s F1 pellet. Just thought, with it being so rock hard, I'll just fish a bit lighter and hopefully that'll get me a few more bites. I just fished a bulk and 1 drop. I just fished number 10s. 412, what did I fish? A 0.4, no, a 0.3 bobby I fished. That's about 412s, I think. Just put a bulk of number 10s and 1 10s dropper, 5-inch hook length, like I said. 012, it's that supernatural line. It's really good actually, it ties up nice. And yeah, that's been brilliant. Then I potted some maggots in the edge. I had a look on there, caught like 3 massive F1s when I went in. Literally just set it up with like 200 of maggots twice, I think, every 15 minutes. And then when I went in, I just fed a large guru every time. But they were a bit tricky to catch. I foul hooked a couple. But I just wanted to rest my meat line. After I had that really good run, I thought I'll just throw a few cubes in because I waited a little while for my last fish. I thought, right, now's my time to look in the edge. Caught 3. That went funny. Put 200 on the edge. Went back in short. Had another little run. And then just rotated that, and then last 10 minutes just sat short for a few more. It's been lovely to be honest. I've ended up with, I think, about 56, 57 pound, and it's won the section. So
it's a good weight. It's a good weight in that section.
Yeah, it's been 3rd in the match. So a few pennies, which is nice. Always nice to throw in the Super Pool. But yeah, lovely day. Puts me in a great position going into tomorrow. Need to pray for a good peg on Python, which is a bit of a tricky lake. So we'll see what happens. We're going to go out have some food now, and yeah, fingers crossed for the morning. Day 5, the final day of the Preston Festival, Brad. Where have you drawn? Not
very
happy?
good.
No.
1 on Canal.
It's not been very good this week.
It's been the worst.
Yeah, it's not.
The bridge has been the worst.
Yeah,
to be fair.
right against the bridge. You've got some good anglers in your section on where the fish have been, haven't you?
Pegged 20s in, which is the other side of the bridge. Pegged 2s in, which is right next to me.
Damage limitations today.
I
think you can come top, maybe 2nd.
No.
But
Rich Evans will cat. Laycock will cat.
yeah, on paper you're looking at 3rd, aren't you? But you never know.
I don't think I am, but maybe. I don't know. Not very good, but we're in the final already, we're pretty sure.
Yeah, I think the final was pretty good for that, which is that's all we wanted to do, really.
Yeah, I was only looking for a win to try and push me up to the top 3. But
I think a win. The draw's going to shake things up today. Looking at how everyone's drew, I've drew peg 5 on Python, which is my usual area. It's not great, but it's not the worst, I don't think. I've got Sam Williams on the end on peg 2. He'll definitely be hard to beat there. I've got Des and Dawson in the section down. Probably a tougher area up at the top end where Brad was yesterday. I was on 5 last year and I managed to win, but it all depends what comes off the end. Them end pegs can dominate on Python, but not always. So I think I'm going to take a load of maggots to my peg, take a bit of meat and hope for the best. See what happens. Well, final day of the festival today, Brad.
Yeah, final day. I was on peg 1 canal, like I mentioned this morning.
Tough draw for you there today, I think.
Yeah,
very
terrible
difficult.
to be honest.
Yeah, right in the corner there against the bridge.
Really shallow as well. I thought it'd be really deep, but
dead shallow.
Yeah, it's so shallow, like just annoyingly shallow as well. It's like I feel like a lot of the best ways to catch on there is like 3-4 foot on maggots, things like that. I've not even had a bite on it. Cut long story short, that's how hard it's been. It's not even been hot, bright or anything. There's just been nothing there. Not seen any muggers. The only sort of muggers I've seen is like basically like for the first time, not seen anything. Not seen a movement, a sign of a life, anything. There's been quite a lot of fish showing in like 17, 19 where Ryan is and things. And I thought they'd empty it, to be honest. And then like an hour in, I've seen a group of fish just like swim literally right at the back of the like come under the bridge. They go right back, touching the far bank, and then they bounce off like 2, 3, and,
Yeah.
and you just see him come back again, like the ghosty, you just see him come
Weird.
back and go back under the bridge. So you couldn't mug them, couldn't get to them. And it just felt like they were the only fish in the peg all day.
Really?
It's like the only fish in the peg were the ones that were swimming in.
through.
And they're not catchable,
No.
they're not muggable hardly. So I was like, there's been now to do. I've probably fished a nice match because I've kept it simple. But whether I should have done some more, I don't know.
What have you done?
I've literally fished meat in the deep water.
No
Never
bites?
bothered fishing it. Just never. Yeah, just kept feeding it. I dropped it on it twice. Rubbish.
Yeah.
Maggots in 4 foot, 3 foot, and 2 foot. And then I've had an edge line off the point where it comes up. You should see in the video. In the point, there's like a point sort of like shallows up sort of thing.
Yeah, towards the bridge.
And like after half an hour, I started dobbing on bread, no signs. I thought I'll just ping a few maggots on that shot because I can sort of see if they come in.
Yeah.
And just see what happened. Then I pinged on it. It looked like 5 minutes later. This point one swirled. And the bush like shot off under the bridge. And it's been the moral of the story of the day. It just literally like one night just drifting. But it's not like drifting and gets his head down. Just drifts in, drifts out. They won't even eat. And then luckily about an hour to go, they're sort of there. I've had like 2 there. I've mugged the rest. I've mugged 4. Say rest. I'm not
Just swimming through.
I've had 6. Yeah, I've mugged 2 where I've seen them round here, and then I've mugged 2 in the edge where they've sort of drifted. I've flicked a rig and got them, and then I've 2 sat there. So I've had 6 fish. I've lost a proper and like 10-12 pound at least. So I've mugged him, literally slapped on his head, and he's like had to eat it. I've had 2 doing that. 2 10-pounders I've literally slapped on their head and they have to eat it. But I've lost one of them. I've hooked him. He's gone right under the bridge and broke. Just lost a lot.
So what weight have you had?
I've had 43 pound. Which was enough for third. Better than I thought, to be honest.
Who's beat you then?
Peg 2's had 72. He's had 2 for like £30. He's literally just gone across, tapped 20 maggots in, tight to the bank. No, this is the reason I got caught. He's had like 3 foot touching the bank.
Yeah.
I've had like 16-inch touching the bank, and it comes really shallow out. So like when they're swimming across, they're so spooky on that 16-inch. Whereas on his line, they're swimming across, and all they have to do is get their head down, and then they'll eat.
Sit on the
Whereas
bank.
mine, they're so spooky off my rig. So like I've had to find 3 foot, and I've been like 2 meters off the bank, and that's why like the fish are only patrolling the far bank.
Yeah.
And I feel like they wanted a bit of depth, so I think that's why he's caught so well. But he's literally not fed anything. He just sat there for ages and ages and ages, and eventually get one. So fair play to him.
Oh well.
He's won the section. Second's been 19. He's had like 64 as well. So that one that's cost me. I've lost like 5 or 6 foul lookers, but. I only should have had one more.
Definitely in the final.
Definitely in the
Did
final.
you be in the frame?
On the edge.
Yeah, on the
3
edge.
3 wins, 2 thirds, a half decent weight. I did have a good weight, but I've dropped the last few days. But I think everyone else. So maybe I'll sneak in the top 10. But I'd really like to. But we'll see. Rob's had a much better day than me, though.
I've had a great day. I've been on peg 5 on Python. I was a little bit disheartened this morning, given that peg 2 was drawn by Sam Williams, who's a great angler. He's a great guy as well. So I was a bit up against it, I felt like. But peg 5 is a good peg in that section because you kind of like towards the fish. I feel like a lot of the fish on Python sit in the 30s opposite, and then you can draw them through. There's only a narrow lake, so there's an island in front of me. And I had a bit of room to my right, which is, I was happy about that. I was happy with my spare peg, because it's 2 missed ones, so I was happy my spare peg was to my right. And it's, to be honest, it's been a really hard day. I threw maggots on a top kitten and a short 4. I didn't even look on that, to be honest, but I felt like late on, if people started catching in the shallow water, I could have a look on that. Threw meat in the deep water. I've set up an edge line to my right, set up pellets in the open water, maybe to catch some carassios, like just fishing 4 mils up on the shelf. Because it comes up like between the islands, it's like 3 foot deep, and then it drops down into like a deep channel that runs either side of the lake. And then I've set up a mud line, because quite often on that lake, the muds can be really good, just fishing like in tight against the island in like anything from 16 to 20 inches of water. Started the match short on meat, didn't have a sign, and Andy Lever's next to me. He's had like a carp £6 and a carp £2 in the first like 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm thinking £30 going to win the section.
Same as yesterday for me. It's so annoying.
It's crazy on there. Like if you get lucky with a few big fish,
how hard it's fishing, it does involve luck.
Yeah, it can transform the section. So I was behind for a long way in the match, to be honest. So I started short on meat, didn't move after 20 minutes. Thought, right, I'm going to have to do something. And I spoke to Mikey Williams earlier in the week when he was on there, and I went up and had a chat to him after he'd been fishing, just because I seen him, and I thought, oh, how have you done? And he won the section with £60. He was like literally the peg opposite me, like 32-ish or something.
Yeah, 32 was on.
And he told me he just fished maggots. So I thought, right, I'll just take some maggots to my peg and I'll just try kindle them across. That's what he caught on. So I just kindled some maggots. Is that tap drizzling?
Yeah, very annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit annoying. I didn't notice that. There you are. So I killed some maggots across and like 3 foot to start with, no fish. Then I fouled the carp.
I was going to say, did anything come in?
Yeah, but every now and again.
Yesterday, I felt like an odd one come in, but just nothing settled.
No, I thought I'd catch more roach on it as well. I hardly caught any roach.
Any at all. I know. I caught none. Weird, isn't it?
It was really strange, and I just kept far looking. Like every 15, 20 minutes, I'd eventually get a nice bite. Thought, well, that'd be a carp. Far looked it. So I plumbed up in like 2.5 foot. Tried again. Far looked one. Caught a couple of little tiny peckers. I caught 2 little tiny F1s, I think, and then I went up to I shelled up again. To 2 foot 4 inches, I reckon. I thought, right, that's that. If the carp want to feed, that'll be a good depth to catch them in. Tried doing it there. Literally, with 2.5 hours of the match gone, I've probably got about £4 in my net. I've had one. Actually, no. Yeah, I've got 3 or 4 little stockies over, and I did have one look in a short edge. I threw meat in 2.5 foot off the bank where I've caught on that lake before. It's been a really good line for me, just kindling some micros in 2.5 foot, throwing a few cubes on throughout the day. Last time I was on that lake, I won the section and I just nicked a few fish on that. Had one little carp on that mid-match. Got to £4. Oh my God. And I'm well behind. I think Andy Lever's got about £20. Des and Alex Dawson probably £15 at this point. But on the end, Sam, he'd hardly caught much, so I still felt like I could win the section going into that last sort of 2 hours. But I needed something to happen. So with 2 hours to go, I put 200mm ground bait in my edge where it's about 20 inches, tight against the bank about 8 metres down the side. And then put 200mm ground bait on the mud across. And I thought, right, I'm just going to have to hope some fish come on there. Went on the mud, started getting a few signs of fish. They came in. I had a little carp, an F1, and a couple of stockies. I thought, right, game on. I probably got to £10, £12. And with an hour and a half to go, I mugged a blondie as well. About
Did you?
Yeah, about half through the match. It felt sorry for me. I think I had about £5, £6.
Flipping heck, how big?
Oh, no, I had £5, £6 coming up to this point.
How big's that blonde?
So it was a lifesaver. It was swimming through, seeing a big blonde shape, flicked at it, got him, it nailed straight, 2 maggots on the hook, nailed it.
Lovely.
So that was nice. It was brightened up my day a little bit.
So you've caught on the edge then?
Yeah, so then once I come off the mud, because they were hard to catch on there, foul up to one, and they just were really iffy. And I put at the edge, and I couldn't see a thing. No clouding up, no swirls,
in
nothing.
20 inch?
In 20 inches of water. I've not seen a fish all day. Thought, right, I'll go in. I've just used a large fast release Guru Kinder pot, the new ones, they're mega. Black Hydro, just fished a 0.4 JL, 019 mainline, a bulk of shots and 4 inch hook length of 017. I thought, I'll fish proper gear, so if I do hook some big carp, I'm going to be able to get them in and catch up. Put my bait in, sat there for 30 seconds, straight away caught a carp.
Oh wow.
First one about £3, went back in, straight away got
just on ground bait, not fed maggots?
Just being ground bait. I thought
wow.
if they start being funny on me, I'll just pop live maggots on it, but they didn't go funny at all. I felt like not many fish were coming in at all. I just felt like I was popping my bait, sitting and waiting.
But one did.
And eventually when one came in, I caught it. I didn't miss any bites down there. And I've had a brilliant run. I've had one probably about £8.
Oh wow.
I just started, I got level with Andy, and then I just managed to sneak ahead into that last half hour. I've had a brilliant run. I've had 2 or 3 little spells of carp, some nice 5-6 pounders, and it saved my ass really.
What weight have you had?
I've ended up with £57.
Oh, that's a great
just
weight.
won the lake.
I said this morning you catch £50, didn't I? Thought you would.
You did.
Thought you would.
Thank God that edge
That's
came.
good.
But I did keep having a look on the mud. I think I maybe nicked one just to rest the edge. I just had to, all I tried to do was just, as soon as I went iffy in the edge, I just put 200mm ground bait on it, went across to the mud, caught one, maybe a small, I didn't catch any big carp over, then went back in, then a few fish had settled and I managed to catch a couple more.
That's mega, mate. Oh, well done.
Nice little tidy match. And potentially, I've ended up with 4 wins in a second. I think there's 3 of us on the same points. So we'll have to wait and see at the results, and we'll do you an update later in this evening to let you know how we've done overall.
He's had 24 points, he's dropped 5 points with a weight of 292.9. Rob Swan!
Go on, Swan.
We've won it!
You have, Rob.
Results
Absolutely
are in.
Brilliant.
I know, I'm absolutely buzzing to be fair. It's so nice to get my name on one of these festivals down at White Acres. And the Preston Festival especially is probably the biggest one to win, I'd say. It's got a long history with the Parkdean final, obviously, and yeah, managed to win it. Over the moon. Steve Barrowclough was second behind me. He was on the same points, but I beat him on weight by about £30. So big well done to him. And Chris Kitchen was third, so yeah, over the moon. I mean, it's been a hard week. There's been a lot of scratching pegs, but I've had a bit of luck in the draw bag. Drew a few nice pegs. Today's been a bit of a tricky day, but thankfully they came in the edge, and that's what's won it for me. Yeah, over the moon in the final tomorrow now, so we're just thinking about that at the moment. We're going to do a bit of prep. I think it's the top 24 of the festival get through to the Parked In Masters final. I was actually second in it last year, so it'd be nice to go on better this year. But yeah, I'm not sure what to say about the week really. I love Whiteacres, I love coming down here, and it's just nice to get my name on a trophy and finally win something nice, and I get to put this up in my bedroom. But yeah, festival winner, Brad.
Yes.
How have you gone on overall?
Well, I've had a tricky day, like I said earlier. I didn't end up in the top 10. Actually, loads of people stuck on the same amount of points. And to be honest, the first 2 days I had a mega weight. I had like 180 odd pound after 2 days. But then the last 3 days just let me down with like an average of 40 a day. So I've ended up 15th, which it's actually, I just said to Rob then, it's actually my worst result down here.
Which isn't bad.
Festivals, which, yeah, just shows a lot. So, yeah,
Isn't too bad.
I've had love it down here. I've had a lot of good luck. So, and to be fair, I thought I've fished a nice festival, and it just shows it's the calibre of angler.
No, it's
But
a strong field.
Top 24, that's all that matters.
In the final.
We knew yesterday, so yeah, brilliant to be honest. Just wanted to win today to try and sneak in the top 3, but it didn't. But as you can see, we're just sorting some prep out for tomorrow's Park Dean. We're not 100% sure what we're going to do yet. We're thinking it's going to be the end of the video, but we might put a GoPro behind. Rob did last year if we had time.
Yeah, we'll see how we get on.
It's a big day, so we can't guarantee
Big day.
it. But big day for us both. Both really looking forward to it. The way they've pegged it's totally different this year.
They're going to peg it differently.
Pegged it to a point where like you're not calling one peg.
Oh, it could be one from
Obviously,
anywhere,
a windward end somewhere in the wind could be great, but there's some shallow pegs you can reach across. There's some open water pegs where the Crassio live, which have a spare peg either side.
Yeah.
Be loads of edge fish, I think. But
Yeah, there'll be some edge fishing tomorrow.
hopefully you've really enjoyed the vlog.
Yeah,
Yes. Rob's done it for us.
Thank you for watching.
He's managed to win it. Go a few better than I did last year. But
Happy
yeah,
days.
amazing. Hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it.
Yeah, we have.
And we're going to have to wait 6 months to come back down.
See you next year.
See you next year.
Thank you for supporting the channel. To reward your loyalty, we've teamed up with some top tackle brands to give you guys a 10% discount off some fantastic fishing tackle. To take advantage of this, all you need to do is head over to catchmorecodes.com, where you'll get the discount codes you need to start saving money, as I said, and we've got some really special brands on board. So thanks again guys for supporting us, and enjoy the discount codes at catchmorecodes.com.